This is my largest galop. This is Darwin.
Oh my gosh, Darwin!
Yeah.
What is going on, bud? What are you doing?
It's 5:30 a.m. and I'm off to the airport. And we're at the airport on our way to Florida.
Good morning.
Hi, how are you?
Wonderful. How are you?
All settled in. Next stop, Orlando, Florida. And we are in Orlando. First up, we're heading to Jupiter, Florida. About 2.5-hour drive to my buddy Kenan Harkin from Kamp Kenan. What's up, my man?
What's up, dude?
Good to see you, man. Oh, don't worry about it, man. Don't worry about it.
I'm on the farm, man.
And of course, we're here with my buddy Kamp Kenan himself, Kenan Harkin. This place is absolutely awesome. I want you guys to get to know Kenan a little bit and just, you want to take me on your daily routine?
You want to do it? Things have changed since the last time you've been here. We got the new Aquascape pond.
Yeah, I saw this build. My buddy Greg from Aquascape, the pond guy, of course, came here and did this awesome. Oh my gosh, it's like right into your house.
Oh, dude, I'm stoked.
You got the moat.
Yeah, the front of the house was always the most boring place, man. And then I knew I always wanted a little moat. Don't have any alligators in it, but you know, that's okay.
Got some cichlids though.
We got some cichlids, yeah, some Malawi, Lake Malawi cichlids, some Du Boises, some blue moray. Really got into those, man. Like, didn't, you know, I've had koi ponds before, and I love koi, but I wanted something different now that I'm down here in Florida for the last 14 years. This is really rad, like, because they're very active. They use all the rock crevices. I'm a geek about them. Now I have something else to love. You know how it is, man. This is just their playpen right now. I put them out for the day. These are some Darth Maul cherry heads. I have a really crazy cherry head that a buddy of mine, John Heidecker, and I kind of did a breeding project together. We got this hypo-melanistic redfoot tortoise that bred with my Darth Maul. I'll show you her later. But she's just fire engine red. So these are hets for that hypo. Awesome. And we think that once they're able to prove out, they'll throw off some bizarre hypos. But with tortoises, man, it's a long
process.
Yeah, I'll be an old man, but, you know, whatever.
All right, I love this thing. This is, of course, this is Darwin. This tortoise is ridiculous.
Yeah, she's pretty mental.
Oh my gosh.
I was just draining her in her water bowl. Now I do have 2 Galapagos. She's one of them, and an Aldabra. So this is my largest galop. This is Darwin.
Oh my gosh, Darwin!
Yeah.
What is going on, bud? What are you doing? Hi. You like pets?
It's pretty rad, man. Since it's the summer down here now, I opened up this entire enclosure. So the whole forest, well, it's not quite a forest, but to them it might be. It's a little thicket of saw palmetto. So that's all open, and these guys can roam around in there. They do all my weed eating. She makes a mud wallow. It's a lot of fun, man. They're just doing their thing. So I love it, bro.
Oh,
you know
my
how
gosh.
it is, man.
I tell you what, is this freaking awesome? This is just the beginning, guys. I mean, this whole place is like I've always said, Kenan built like a zoo, backyard essentially, and front yard.
Yeah, well, you know how it is. I mean, anybody that loves reptiles wants to have their own kind of, I guess, zoo, if you will. And I just love giving the animals space and giving them a place to hang out. So I figured, you know what we'll do, Brian? Since you're gonna be hanging out for a little while, I'm gonna be seeing you for possibly a couple days, I don't know. I figured today I'd give you basically the cast of characters that you can find usually on my channel. Perfect. So after this, we're gonna go check out my buddy Crocodile Kyle. He's got a really cool facility filled with crocodiles, and I haven't brought you there yet, so I figured you'd love to see it, and I'll let you in on some secrets. I'm not gonna do an exclusive, but I'll tell you off camera what we're planning, and then you guys will just have to check out our channel when I make the big announcements. But it's gonna be cool, man. I'm so glad that you're here because I'd love for you to check out the snakes. Snakes are definitely a smaller portion of my little menagerie, if you will, but I love this carpet python. It was an animal that was no longer wanted by its previous owners. And I have this enclosure. It's vinyl coated screen mesh, so they don't really get the rub that you'd find if it was like a cheese grater type of cloth. But they do good, man. They love being outdoors. I'll come out here at night. How you doing there, Carl? Wake up, buddy. His name's Colin, after a friend of yours and mine, Colin Shoemark, yeah.
Colin.
Yeah, he's Australian, like the Critter Cam guy, Colin.
Yeah, exactly.
So I named it after Colin there. I love those guys, they're
awesome.
characters. Anyway, he's just hanging out. I like keeping the snakes outdoors, especially in the warmer parts of the season here. I just like it that way. I know we've talked before, your Pop and I and everyone out there. I know you got some really cool things you're trying to do over in your own little neck of the woods.
I wish I could keep stuff outside like this year round, you know, because it's
cheap in Florida, buddy. I don't know. It'd be fun to have you. These are all my little cherry head tortoises.
Oh my gosh, look at them.
These guys are cool. But I want to show you Darth Maul. She's just berserk, you know. Oh, and here she is. She's an old gal. I'm gonna pull her on out. Now she's an old girl, but look at that face, huh?
Oh my gosh.
Is that beautiful?
Darth Maul.
Yeah, man. Except she's not a Sith member. She's just hanging out, eating leaves and other vegetation. But I love the eyes.
So you bred the hypo to this?
To this, yeah. Wow. So those babies have a lot of color as it is. But we'll just see what happens when they grow up. Here's a funny thing. I don't know, many of your followers may not know about cherry head tortoises. If you look at her, it looks like she's got a big old tail. You know, when I first saw her, she had a little concavity of this plastron. I thought it was a male. And that was something I came to learn about cherry head tortoises. They're kind of a locale of the redfoot. Anyway, this one, the females tend to have more male characteristics. So I thought it was a male until she laid eggs. And then I started to learn, like, oh, wait a second.
That's a telltale sign.
And she's a big girl too. Most of the time, the cherry heads stay smaller.
Guys, we're gonna go check out the rhino iguanas in the water monitor in a second, but look at these enclosures. Again, I always love coming down to Kenan's place. It's just so incredible. I mean, just the naturalistic, big space, outdoors, all this stuff is inspiring to me. And like he said, you know, moving down to Florida would definitely be a pretty good option. Although I'm just not a Florida guy, so I love my place up in Michigan, but regardless, I can't wait to get in with these guys.
This is croc diet, okay? It's Missouri croc diet. Water monitors and gators, watch your head. And crocs, they're actually eating the same types of foods. They're carnivores, so this works really well. In addition to fish and, you know, the frozen thawed rodents. Just go ahead and shut that. Slinky is very smart. He's like the raptors in Jurassic Park, dude. They figured it.
And Slinky is of course this water monitor here. And last time I was here, a lot smaller.
Yeah.
I mean, like just double the size.
Yeah, and less friendly. And it's funny, you know, as they get larger, they tend to come into their own, feel more secure, and they wind up becoming much friendlier or more sure of themselves. So they tolerate my presence and me picking them up and so on. Okay. But look at that.
That's
so
awesome.
I actually like to throw these nuggets around. You know, I'll just throw one over there. We'll see if we can get him to swim. But he's a character, and I love this lizard. So here we go. My own little Loch Ness monster.
So cool.
Yeah, down the hatch. So I just toss these all in here, and he'll swim around and find them, and it's a cool little enrichment game for him. Sometimes I'll bury him in the leaves that are behind here. Basically, everything I'm doing is just to keep the animals healthy. I love the fact that he's not an obese monitor. He's got some, you know, he's perfect size. You want to keep those folds in him. That's basically, you know, those animals have those folds. They can eat and gorge themselves in the wild, and then they may not eat again for a long time. But here in captivity, we got to make sure we don't overfeed him. So he gets a few pellets, a couple of rodents a week, and then I just throw a cassinate in my main pond, and dude, he's getting all the right foods. I love this lizard, man. He's so amazing. It's always fun sticking your hands into a box with snakes. I don't care how tame they are, but I'm gonna pull out what I hope. They usually are good. They're a little cool from last night.
Oh, yeah, look at
Isn't that pretty?
Oh my gosh,
is that beautiful?
Thing is insane.
Yeah, man. So Timor python. The funny thing is, Timor pythons, as you know, aren't found on the island of Timor.
Which is weird.
It's so strange. They're found on Flores, I believe, and which is also a place you can find Komodo dragon. I've had them 2 years, but way more active, and they feed more than other snakes. And also, I'll come out here at night, and dude, they make use of every inch of this enclosure. Yeah, just one of the things I love to see is when, you know, snakes just kind of curl up onto a branch or something like that. But these snakes struck me. You don't see a lot of them in captivity, but they're beautiful, natural looking, you know, their natural coloration.
I haven't seen them with this much yellow. I mean,
dude, I'm
unbelievable.
You know what the sad part is, Brian? I'm colorblind.
Really?
Yeah, I can see yellow and green, but, you know, it's just not, you know, as vivid.
Trust me, they're beautiful.
Yeah.
These are as nice. I don't know that I've ever seen a nicer pair of snakes.
Well,
as
that's
far as
nice.
teamers, I mean, those things are ridiculous.
Yeah, they're beautiful, and I like to keep them outdoors. So, really cool snake. This is like, I have some sulcatas over here. I love space. That's my whole deal.
No, this is, I mean, look at the space that these sulcatas have. I mean, that's like what, like a half acre or a quarter?
Dude, it's about a half acre that they're on, and then, because the whole place is 2.5 acres, and then this is a half acre, and there's only 10 sulcatas on that. I never mow in there.
Really? Yeah,
never mow, dude.
Can mow the whole thing.
No, and these little demons here, these are little grass demons, man. Those are leopard tortoises. They're awesome. There's 15. And usually they live over there, but they ate that down to the sand, so I'm growing back. It's like rotating cattle, dude. You know, so they're over here for now, they're grazing. And then when this gets worn out, we're gonna rotate them back to there, and I'll seed here and just kind of rotate back and forth. Now here's a species that's been in the news lately. In Madagascar, man, 10,000.
10,000, I heard that.
10,000 radiated tortoises were confiscated in someone's house. That species right there. So these guys are under extreme pressure for the illegal wildlife trade in their native Madagascar. And the problem is that these animals, or rather Madagascar, they don't have a lot of things in place to really protect their natural resources, unfortunately. And you know, you can't blame some of the people over there because they're getting by on less than $1 a month. It's insane. So when you get animals that will fetch you 20 bucks per animal, which is, I mean, these animals here are worth $10,000 if it's a female in the States. So what's happening is they're pilfering from the wild. I have 10 radiated tortoises in here. These animals I'm working with a close friend on, so I'm housing them here. But they're beautiful. It's one of the most endangered species on Earth, but just a gorgeous animal.
Yeah, and for those of you guys, I will link in the description the story about those 10,000 smuggled animals. And the TSA actually went down there, and they have people on the ground trying to save them. But as it works out, I mean, probably, I'm sure 1,000 or 2,000 of these extremely endangered animals are going to probably perish just because they were kept in such horrible conditions. If you can imagine, no one's going to take care of 10,000 tortoises. So the amount of energy that the TSA is trying to save them is amazing, but I'll link in the description.
Definitely, and you guys can donate to the Turtle Survival Alliance for that specific cause. Yeah. So if you love reptiles, you want to make a difference, definitely do that because they can use the help. But they're a beautiful animal. I mean, that's the dollar tort, dude. I think it's time for you and I to maybe grab some grub and see what else we can figure out, or I don't know, man.
Please do me a favor, go down in the description, check out Kenan, not only on his YouTube channel, he posts 4 times a week, you guys want to check that out, but also I'll post his Instagram because he's got a rad Instagram account, so I'll put all that down there. Please, when you go over there, tell him that I sent you, okay?
I appreciate that, guys. I love seeing that, man. You always help me out. I love your followers. They love reptiles. They'll love us, so
exactly.
Come on over.
You guys will love them for sure. All right, so we are back at the hotel. What an amazing first day down here in Florida. It's been a long day. We're going to get a little bit of rest tonight. We're going to hook back up with Kenan tomorrow, and he's going to take us to a cool place called Crocodile Kyle's. I cannot wait to see that. And then we're off to Orlando for adventure at Gatorland and a whole bunch of other stuff. Regardless, I hope that you guys enjoyed this first day of the adventure. We still have 4 or 5 days left to go, so it's going to be absolutely amazing. And you guys following along means the world to me. I hope that you have an absolutely amazing day, evening, whenever you happen to be watching. Can you do me a favor and check that link on the description on my Patreon page? Remember to be kind to someone today, and I promise I'm going to see you guys tomorrow.
I gotta smile and say I hope you're